When we're doing something as important as this, as wide and deep as this, if you're looking for one big message, you're probably asking the wrong question. I think we need to commit to saying there's a lot of questions. This work is not the same as, cleaning a floor, which is very direct. We can't just stand on one foot and say, tell me what to do. We've been too focused on tactics, too focused on chores, too focused on spreadsheets, and not taking a step back and seeing the systems and using the opportunity we have to make a difference. The trend which has been going on since the dawn of the internet is the death of mass marketing. And it's easy to say, well, sure, but industrialism and mass marketing have been a team for 100 years. Build a factory that makes average stuff for average people, and then promote it to everyone you can find. So most people who call themselves marketers are actually promoters. And promotion's fine, but then call yourself a promoter. Marketing is the work of telling a story that resonates, that helps people get to where they're going, that they want to share. That's a different craft. If you can name a brand that was built in the last 15 years that people revere, talk about, and pay extra for, that's exactly what they're doing. They're not doing it by running full-page ads. They're not doing it by buying Super Bowl ads, God forbid. They're not doing it by hacking SEO. They're doing it by making a promise and keeping it. Marketers are change agents. The only reason for us to show up is to make a change happen. That wasn't true in Cincinnati in 1968, right? It wasn't true on Mad Men. There, your only job was to buy more ads. So I think the marketer of the future is an agent of change. Somebody who sees an opportunity to contribute and then creates the conditions for it to happen. I'm sure there's more than 3 types of marketers, but I will identify a couple of them. The ones that get a lot of press lately are people who work for tech companies. They don't see themselves as marketers, and they're not very good at marketing. What they're doing is bringing a tech to the world that has a network effect, like Instagram, and then taking credit when it works. But their logo isn't what made it work, or their slogan isn't what made it work, or their ads on television aren't what made it work. What made it work is built into the thing itself is the engine of its spread. Then there's the old school big company marketer. These people go to meetings a lot. They have multi-million-dollar budgets, and they're on defense. Their job is to grow market share a little, but really, really don't lose market share. Not seeing a lot of innovation from those sorts of people. And then there's the third kind, the kind that really excites me. These are people who show up with ordinary markets and ordinary situations, but bring extraordinary stories that were worth paying extra for. And it's that sort of conceptual marketing that's a huge opportunity for so many people. As someone who has spent his own money on online advertising, as someone who is in the Direct Marketing Hall of Fame, I am really skeptical of online direct marketing. I think there are some very special cases where it clearly pays for itself. Action marketing, direct marketing, measured marketing. If you can scale it, it grows forever. That's when I invented email marketing. That was the promise. But that's not what brands are about. It's not what conversations are about. So I think too many people are spending cash money on ads because they're not willing to do the hard work of building a system that spreads an idea. You do way better when your customers talk about you as opposed to when you talk about you. Toward the end of her life, my grandmother bought a exercise machine on late night TV for $89. And I went to visit her, and she said, I don't understand. It's not working. I haven't lost any weight. And she thought the machine was going to do it for her. It was so easy to buy the machine and say, it's going to take care of my problem. The hard work of seeing systems, of developing a strategy, of engaging with the grassroots. Politicians don't want to do it. Famous brands don't want to do it. It's often the insurgent who figures out how to turn it into a movement, but there's no easy shortcut. The punchline is either you work for AI or AI works for you. If you are turning the dial, trying to make things more efficient, work in the spreadsheets, you're going to work for an AI. And the minute your boss can find an AI cheaper than you, you're out of the picture. On the other hand, if you want to hire dozens of AIs to work for you, you can do that today. So there's a company called Rally that has trained thousands of AI personas. And you can run a focus group instantly and watch them arguing with each other about the thing you just suggested. That you can find all these ways to stress test and brainstorm with something like Claude to deeply understand what you're putting on offer. If you're not doing that, your competition definitely is. What's the idea of war to begin with? War is a special thing where there are no rules and it keeps going until someone gets really hurt. Why would you want to be in that world? On the other hand, identity is something human beings really want. That when we can bring dignity and respect and connection to a group of people and do it without challenging them to harm someone else, that is what culture is. And the purpose of culture isn't to enable capitalism. The purpose of capitalism is to enable culture. So the goal here isn't to work people up into a frenzy. The goal is simply to help people see who they are and what they're capable of doing.